Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Make It Work podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tamberlin, and I'm here with a very fashionable in a shirt that he made on his own. You should watch his TikTok and see how he did it. Christian Garza.
Hello.
This week we're going to talk about London Fashion Week. There's a lot going on as always. Christian and I have our favorites that we cover all the time. So I wanted to start with kind of somebody new, or at least someone that I had never heard of. And they are called Standing Ground. They were a part of the presentation at Fashion East, who puts a whole bunch of new up and coming people together and puts on one big fashion show. Standing Ground, though, stood out to me because they have a lot of very simple looks, almost, I don't know a good word for it, minimalist, very kind of movie costume-ish, but they're so well executed that they look beautiful to me. Now, my first real question for you, because I was a merch marketing major at FITM and you were actual fashion design, what kind of fabric is this? I took textile science, but I barely skirted by. Is this like a very expensive jersey? Is this neoprene? Okay.
I was thinking jersey. Some of it does look, most of them, right off the bat, they did look like a jersey, but I could see how a couple of them give off this smooth, non-texture of a neoprene.
Yes.
I like them in their simplicity, but I could see how some of them would be awkward on hanger appeal.
Definitely.
A couple of them, they do look like they have, I don't know the best way to put this, but tumors.
Definitely. That's what made it look interesting to me when I first saw the show, because I was like, are these belts? Are these ropes? What are they? And the placement and all that looks so cool. It's like sci-fi clothes. What is that?
Yes, there's this one number. It's this metallic one sleeve number. I could definitely see that as she's being the high priestess of her tribe, and she's fighting the famine, looking for water.
She might know magic.
Yeah. A lot of these are would you say dystopian?
Very dystopian. Very much like Star Wars, Star Trek, from a different planet.
Yeah.
Or, after we have burned down the earth with global warming, these are the people that reemerge, and this is how they're dressed.
Yes. There were a couple of numbers, the white one is really cool.
With that fold or that pleating?
Yeah, the fold, whatever that pleat is.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It falls really well.
Beautifully made. And I think I am a sucker for well-made clothes, regardless to how boring or mundane they might seem, because I think that says way more about the house and about the price point that they're going to sell it at. It makes it worth my money to me in my mind. This was executed so well, and the clothes are so plain that they don't really have to be trendy. I could leave these clothes to future generations, and they could style it, maybe cut it, make it a short dress or whatever, and they would have just as much fun as I did.
Right. And whenever you said that, actually, I thought of, it's so random, but from last year, the Jean-Paul Gaultier, where he had Olivier, was it Roestig?
Mm-hmm.
From Balmain. He came to do guest design for Gaultier. And I just remember that show, it was being so poorly executed. And it's, it's funny because that they're showing couture. But I remember there was pins you could see on the runway, and not in an intentional way, holding garments together or just because they didn't fit. So yeah, it's all about execution and the actual if it's not well made, then it doesn't matter how trendy.
It's about the finished product. And then I think what people are getting away from with fast fashion and sort of not caring about is, I don't care if this is a Balenciaga or a Balmain crop top or a mini dress, and you just think that, your client is going to wear it to the club. I cannot pop it around the club in this dress if it's going to fall apart.
Yeah. And then I would hope to get way more wears out of it if it is that costly.
Definitely.
Whereas with a Shein or H&M, it's expected. It'll wash it twice and it'll be ruined.
Exactly. And with some of the designer pieces that are more ostentatious, more beading, more one-of-a-kind looks, you're already kind of pushing it because this look is so loud and it's so like one of a kind special that I probably can't get away with wearing it over and over again. Definitely people are going to notice and remember. But on top of that, it's not going to be well made. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
So, I see.
So these are really nice. I like that. I wanted to see what the inspiration was.
Oh, well, they didn't really have a story because they were a part of that collective show.
It's really cool.
The designer, he looks Irish. He has like a big red beard, or Scottish, a big red beard, a bald head.
Oh, because he's white and he has red beard.
I think I love everything about these clothes except for the tumors, as you referred to them.
Yes. I think that some of them are fine. And actually, so like there was one dress, it's photographed, and it looks more lavender. And I really like that like pale lavender look. In this picture, it's like juxtaposed with like this hard rocks and like this gloomy atmosphere.
Yes, very beautiful. So, for a new designer, for this is your first time showing at London Fashion Week, I will give you a strong, strong 9 for your work, for your efforts, for your execution.
Definitely. I feel like, with London, it's more about like being experimental. Although a lot of the shows that went on this time, a lot of them were more wearable than usual. But I feel like with London, it's a bit more experimental. With Paris, it's experimental but pretty. I don't know why I associate Milan with Moschino, and Versace. Maybe it's their whole thing is ostentatious.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say New York. What would you say? It's just like wearable, like realistic clothing.
New York, definitely, and I don't want to say boring, but it's very American, right? All of the clothes that are shown at New York Fashion Week have a purpose and have a client
Right.
and have a story, and it's like they beat it into them to make it very clear.
Yeah.
So you don't even really get a lot of wide variation like you would get in some of these London collections. Like, oh, we have club outfits, and then we have workwear, and that's not happening for real in America.
No, they have to have. I feel like if you really want to sell, they just have to know their market. Especially like that was the issue with that Willie Chavarria. His market or who he's appealing to are these cholos. What cholo is walking around in that?
And what cholo's gonna pay the extra money when he already has that? Those Dickies, that Carhartt jacket.
He's just gonna go to Walmart and get that.
Or the swap meet on his way home from picking up his cervezas after work.
Yeah.